So, good evening, one and all present here.
Good evening, Amar.
I
Good
welcome
evening, sir.
I welcome you all to the webinar, which is on topic democratizing Indian market using ONDC. So today we will be discussing about this open network for digital commerce, and to discuss this, we have the eminent speaker with us, Mr. Tanu Sharma. He is a blockchain developer manager at Times Internet. He has having 7.5 years of experience in blockchain development, full stack development, having extensive experience and knowledge. Mr. Tanuj having great industry and business related outcome oriented knowledge about blockchain. Uh, he is also expert in he's also expert in blockchain development and he's expert in blockchain development and application design and worked for SAP Labs project SAP 3D VEMP. So I welcome you, sir, to this webinar. And
Thank you.
I request you to take over the further session.
Thank you, Amol. Hi, everyone. So, I will open your chat box, okay, so that you have any query, you can write it in the meeting chat. And on the other side, I will start sharing my screen. So, I guess Amol already gave me a brief about me. So, if you are able to hear me, just say yes. Okay. Everyone is able to see the PPT. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Then, okay. So nowadays, everything in news, like technical world, is going through some specific term because government of India posts something upfront, and the particular project is ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce, where government of India want to create a decentralized marketplace. Like whenever we do any commerce, okay, any buying or any selling on the Amazon or on Flipkart, the revenue from that particular product selling or buying will go to the foreign countries because the products Amazon and Flipkart are owned by them. Now government of India want to push the digitalness of community, which is upgrading day by day in Indian subcontinent, to the every person, so that every person get benefited from this. Now they created a concept of open network for digital commerce. So today I will our target will be that I will explain you what is blockchain first, okay, then we will go and see how the ONDC actual design works, then we will try to implement that particular design using blockchain, okay. So the particular design which ONDC provided, okay, is very specific and closed. Now the implementation which we are going to design using blockchain is kind of a discussion between me and you, so we have to keep it interactive. But before that, let me brief you about myself. I am working as a software developer manager for Times Internet. I am building a community of Blocktical, where you can find my channel on YouTube. I am also a part of Imperial Society of India, where we are working with PlugUp, so that we will provide a better understanding of blockchain and what going on in the particular community, blockchain community, to you. Okay, so let me go. And are you able to see the screen, right? A jam box is there, whiteboard. Anyone just say yes in the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Who is this? Sundar
This
Raj.
is Sundar.
Okay, hi Sundar. How are you?
Doing good, sir. How
Okay,
are
cool.
you?
So let's talk about what is blockchain. Are you able to see the screen, right? So blockchain is nothing but a kind of database, okay, a DB with some restrictions. Okay, what are the restrictions? Like in the general database, you can do four operations mainly: create, read, update, and delete. If I say that I will not allow update and delete in a particular database system, it will become a blockchain. Now I have to add one more thing over here, that you can perform create and read in a database system, but that database system remains distributed plus decentralized. This means blockchain is nothing but a distributed decentralized database system where we have restriction over the operations, right? Is it clear to you, Sundar?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
following.
See, now our topic is here only. In this particular, through this particular concept, we understand that whenever we create something, right, any entry in this database is getting recorded, but you cannot remove any entry from this particular database, right? That means we have a history of whatever transaction we are doing on the network, correct? So we have a history of whatever transaction we are doing on the network is stored in a particular database which we call as distributed ledger. Distributed ledger. Now this distributed ledger holds several things, something in header and something in body. Body is encrypted using your keys, and header is something which is available for everyone to verify. That means if there is a transaction over here, anyone can verify that particular transaction without knowing what is there in the transaction. Okay, this is the main concept of blockchain technology. Now let's talk about ONDC. What is ONDC? So before going into ONDC, I guess everyone heard about UPI, correct?
Yes, sir.
Unified Payment Interface. So anyone can try to explain how it works? Anyone from the audience? So let me try. You have a number, right? A mobile number, correct? This mobile number is registered on PhonePe, correct? Now you created a UPI using this mobile number on PhonePe. So you will get a UPI ID associated with this mobile number on PhonePe. On the same note, you have Paytm, and you will get, if you register with the same mobile number, you will get another UPI ID, okay, using Paytm on the same mobile number. Now this mobile is attached to your particular account, right? Correct? And this UPI ID, because this particular mobile is attached to your particular account, will create a link between your UPI ID and your account details. Okay, and it will transfer whatever amount of money you want to transfer. So on the upper part, it looks very easy that you know someone's number, put it and transfer the money, correct? Now if we see the design, how it works, it uses the old algorithms which is over there from last 10 to 15 years. So if you heard about NEFT, right? If you heard about IMPS, so what NPCI do, National Payment Corporation of India, what they do, they created a wrapper. They created a wrapper where they mapped your UPI ID with your account details, and they provided some open protocols for everyone to utilize. Now this is very closed. Now there are some gateways which we call as open protocols. Under the hood we are using NEFT and IMPS only. Okay, but it looks like very easy for us to transfer money instantly. Using this open protocol, we are able to buy and purchase on the instance, or even we are able to transfer money on the instance. Correct? This is the same design which Government of India is doing for the open network for digital payments. So what they do, they created a core framework. They created a core framework which we call as open gateway. So there are several APIs over here. There are several APIs over here which is open to all, like anyone can participate in this API, anyone can use these APIs. Okay, now once suppose Paytm Mall came and they want to build a application for sellers. What they will do, they will use the seller API and create a user interface so that people or seller can directly submit their product and list it over the Open Gateway Network or ONDC network. Okay. On the other hand, the buyer app will utilize the buyer open protocols and list down whatever is there on the network. So I will show you how one of the application will look like. On the Paytm Mall, if you see, search for Paytm Mall ONDC, as this particular project is launched as a prototype or in the beta version in a few of the locations like Coimbatore, Noida, Kolkata or somewhere also. Then you see that there are product listed over here. 1100 products are getting listed over here with the name of ONDC. This means these products are from the open gateways, okay, which is getting listed by sellers on the ONDC platform. Okay. Now this particular ONDC platform will provide several services like registry, like you can register your product, then network. So any number of person can come and join this particular product. So you don't have to go to every place like ordinary how it works. You have a shop, you want to sell your products, you have to list it down on every platform. You have to list it down on Amazon, you have to list it down on Flipkart, you have to list it down on Myntra, you have to list it down on Paytm Mall, right? So the same product you have to put efforts and list it down on every platform based applications present in the ecosystem. But right now you have to list it down only once, and every seller or buyer application can utilize that particular detailed product, okay, listed in this particular network and show it on their particular application, right? Now there are some ledgers which is getting stored over here. One is reputation ledger and another one is open data ledger. So these are the two ledgers which is decentralized in nature. These are the ledgers which we are using as a distributed database system. Ledger is nothing but a concept where we have to put everything in the historical format and we have no authorization to change it. And someone is raising hand. Okay, yeah, Vijay, you have any query? Hi, Anyone is having any query over here till now? Okay, cool. We will go ahead. Now let's try the same design of open network for any type of commerce or a marketplace where anyone can come using the blockchain technology. Okay, so see, right now we have to create a network, correct? We have to create a network where anyone can come join this particular network as a peer, and they can sell anything and anyone can buy from this particular network. Okay, suppose A, B, C, D, E and F, these are 6 people who joined this particular network, where A joined as a seller, B joined as a buyer, C joined as a logistic partner, delivery partner. ठीक है? Now if any transactions happens between A and B, we have to record that transaction in the ledger. Okay, once that transaction is getting recorded in the ledger, C will come pick up this particular transaction data and commit that okay, I will deliver it from A to B. Okay, now if we ask C to deliver it without staking anything, okay, without having fear to lose anything, right, then C will only say I will deliver but never deliver it to the B. Okay, so how it works, C need to stake some kind of token or currency or amount into the process, accept this particular delivery invoice, go to A, show this particular invoice, take the particular product, deliver it to B. Once we receive particular delivery and B says okay, the delivery is correct, the particular person C or the logistic partner will get the reward or earning, and we have to release this particular stake which we recorded. Okay, now this is the overall concept which we have to do using some smart contracts. Correct, we are going to play a design and system design part kind of thing over here on the call. So how many type of organization will be part of this particular network? So first one is there are sellers. Second one is there are buyers. Third one is logistic partners. Fourth one is insurance companies. They will ensure that okay, the person who is delivering will deliver it properly. Now these sellers have different people, like n number of sellers will be there on the network. Correct, every seller need to store their data in the ledger. So this is the seller product ledger. So suppose seller submitted that I have one product, quantity 1 of product P at location X, at location Delhi. Suppose this, there are buyers also from different locations, right? So the if particular A buyer want to search product P from Delhi, they will get this result. He will get this particular result. Okay, now we will show this particular result to this buyer app. Now once buyer do the transaction for buying it, then bank will come in the picture. We have to put banks also, because they have to take money from buyer and store in somewhere, right? To do the transactions, we have to keep banks over here. So once this buyer will buy this particular product, we have to put this particular product in the delivery list or delivery ledger. So this is the delivery ledger. At this particular moment of time, this logistic partner will come and will say, okay, I will deliver this particular product from A location to B location. Okay, and this is my stake for delivering this. So it will say I will stake 30 tokens to deliver this. Then another buyer will come. I will also do the same. I will deliver this particular product from A to B, but I will put a stake of 50 tokens. Now I have a question. If someone has to lose 30 tokens if they are not able to deliver it properly, and if someone want to if someone will get to lose 50 tokens if they don't have to deliver it properly, who would you rather pick for your product delivery? This is for anyone from the chat. Mohammed Sheikh. Anyone? 50 tokens. Yes, Vijita, correct. Because they have more concern, because they have to lose more, right? So we are going to select this for as our delivery partner. Now suppose I selected this particular 50 token person for my delivery. Now this particular person will deliver it properly to me, but I have a chance that the piece will be broken. Okay, so I will do one thing. I will take a insurance also. Like if this particular delivery partner will deliver it as broken, this insurance will cover that particular loss for me. Okay, so at this particular moment, if the piece is broken, we have to complain to the insurance company. They will take the action on this delivery partner, upvote this delivery partner or downvote this delivery partner accordingly, and then we will check, we will get our money back, right? In this complete scenario of design, we have to write several smart contracts. Smart contract. So first one is for seller, second one is for buyers, third one is for banks, fourth one is for logistic partners, fifth one is for insurance company, sixth one is for settlements, and seventh one is for authority and rights. Authority and rights. One more thing will come. Eighth one is for complaints. Okay, anyone can raise the complaint in the system. Okay, so this is how the application design will work. Got it? Yes or no in the chat box? Yes and no in the chat box, please. Okay, cool. Can we take one smart contract and can we try to design it? Okay, so over here I am doing the modeling of a smart contract. Modeling of a seller, not a seller smart contract. Okay, so I have a smart contract. Say this, there are several functionalities in this smart contract. We have to pick those functionalities. So what are the basic functionality of a seller? To sell something, correct? Now the first functionality which we have to add in our smart contract is add product, and we have to ask for the product ID and product details as a parameter to our function. Correct? This is the first function we have to do. Now what will be the second function for sellers in the smart contracts? Anyone in the chat? Any guesses? Distribution. Okay, Rohan, I will keep it distribution over here. But distribution is not the headache of seller. About product, correct? About product or read product. Okay, second one is this. See, Rohan, distribution is not the headache of this particular seller. Seller doesn't have to handle that particular issue, right? This is the issue of buyers or the logistic partners, how they can do the distribution of the product, how they can pick the product from your place and how they can deliver it to the buyer place, right? Based on product. What is Sriram? What is this based on product? I didn't get it properly. Anyone else? Product pricing. Yes, product pricing. So sometimes what will happen, when I register the project, my price will be 50 rupees, but I saw the competition that someone is providing the same product in 49 rupees. I have to update the pricing. I have to provide the product pricing again as 48 rupees, right? So for this scenario, I have to keep update product, okay, and I have to provide the particular parameters. Correct, Vijita? Again, next one. So this thing we are doing modeling. So we are not writing the smart contract, but we are trying to design what functionality our smart contract will keep. Okay, check for state. Correct. Okay, check for state. Correct. So if one seller is submitting some particular 5 quantity of particular product, okay, and 4 got sold out, then the particular seller will check for the stake of their product, right? So check for stake. Okay, inventory management. Yes, Rohan, we can keep inventory management also, but if you are doing the complete management, keep it as a separate smart contract, because in inventory management different things will come, right? Management is kind of a big word, so keeping a different smart contract for that is a good thing. Okay, Rohan? Okay, anyone else? Sometimes offers. Yes, for products there may be offers, there may not be offers. So because offers also need to be kept different in the different place, okay, because one product, same offer can be given to multiple products, right? So if we put it over here, then it is hard for us to manage it. But if we just put it at a different place and link it to this particular place, then it is easy for us to map the same offer for different products, right? So we will keep that. Anyone else? I am looking on your chat only. Similar product suggestion. Yeah, analytics. Correct. Analytics. Customer service. So customer service is not the part of sellers. Okay. If they want to query about the particular product, then they can come in the customer service line, right? So we can keep it also. Okay, but better we will provide a chat box or communication channel so that the particular buyer who is trying to buy the product will directly communicate to the particular person who is selling it in a special chat room. Okay. Okay, Rohan. Similar product suggestion is comes under analytics. Anyone else? No one mentioned if I want to activate, deactivate, or say I am withdrawing this particular product. So updating the status, or what is the status of my product. Okay, we have to check that also regularly. And what is the rating of my product? Rating of my product, right? Customer satisfaction. Rating will reflect the customer satisfaction. So these kind of things will come in the modeling of smart contracts. After this, we have to write the particular smart contract demand, review in products, yeah, demand, correct. Refund if cancelled, yeah, that's again in the status. What is the status of that particular thing? So I guess now you everyone knows how the particular smart contract will behave when we wrote it, right? Now the next part is do the implementation of these functionalities. That is a different thing. Okay. I guess today you understand what ONDC is, how UPI works, how current ONDC is working, then how we can implement that particular ONDC part in the blockchain network. Correct?
Okay, so here we conclude the today's session. Thank you, Tanish sir, for an extensive session on ONDC, which was very knowledge-based session for the students as well. They get to know about various technologies related to blockchain as well. And I hope all the attendees have enjoyed the session. They get to know about the ONDC part and the blockchain part as well. And yeah, if you are interested, you can reach out to us regarding this post-graduation program in blockchain. Thank you all of you again for joining. Those who are interested, for them we will be having one-on-one session as well. So you can reach to us. You can fill the Google form available in the chat box. Surely we will connect with you. Thank you once again for joining. Thank you, sir.